Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Market Minute. My mission is to help you better understand the latest trends in the U.S. real estate market and share with you my analysis and industry expertise. I want to help you gain an advantage and feel confident whenever you're buying and selling real estate. I'm your host, Mark Salib. I'm a passionate real estate professional, advisor, and investor, and I love what I do. Follow and DM me on Instagram at The Salib Group. Send me an email, mark@thesalibgroup.com. And as always, thank you for tuning in to today's show. Now, welcome to another edition of Weekend Q&A. This weekend's question is, can you do a 1031 exchange on a house that you actually lived in, or does it only work for investment properties? Well, the answer is generally no, at least not directly, but there are some important nuances and a couple of workarounds that you could do. Now, quick disclaimer, this is not legal advice. This is not tax advice. Consult with your attorney, CPA, real estate agent, qualified intermediary about your specific situation. But here's the general way this works. Okay, what is a 1031 exchange? Well, it's a way to defer capital gains taxes. What you do is you sell an investment property and you take the proceeds and you buy another investment property with the proceeds. And basically, notice the key word I said there was investment property. I did not say primary residence or personal use property for that matter. So the rule is this: the IRS generally does not allow a direct 1031 exchange on your primary home that you personally lived in. Basically, it's that simple. Now, what you could do with a primary residence, if you sell it, if it's your primary residence and you sell it, there is something called the Section 121 capital gains exclusion. So if you've lived in the property for 2 out of the last 5 years, at least 2 out of the last 5 years, you can exclude up to $250,000 in gains if you're single and $500,000 in capital gains if you're married, filing jointly. So that is something you can exclude from the proceeds. Now, a lot of folks have a ton of equity out there, so they're still paying taxes when they sell their house because they've got more than that much, $250,000 or $500,000 in equity. So they got to pay taxes on that additional amount. So what's the workaround I mentioned earlier? Well, some people convert a former primary residence into an investment property first. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you move out of your house, okay, that you've lived in for a while. You keep it instead of selling it right away, and you rent it out for a period of time. Over time, that property starts to begin to qualify for an investment property instead of your primary residence. Now, to be clear, there's no exact timeline that's written into the tax code. Again, consult with an accountant. But to my knowledge, there is nothing out there. But generally, the IRS is looking for a long rental history and for it to appear to be an investment property. So if you report rental income, you show expenses, you clearly aren't living there, that makes the argument pretty strong that the property is an investment property. You haven't lived there. Now, it's got to be a pretty decent amount of time, right? It's not going to, you can't just move out for a couple of weeks and rent it and for a couple of weeks and, the IRS, I'm going to let them know it's an investment property, right? It's got to be a decent amount of time. I think it should be at least a year, but again, consult with your accountant. Mainly the IRS is looking at what's your intent. What are you doing with the property? Show me some rental activity. Show me some documentation that you've been renting out for a decent amount of time. All right. Now, when you do that after a while, now it becomes 1031 exchange worthy, right? Now, why do people even do this in the first place? I mean, what's the point of this 1031 exchange? In case you don't know, the point is that when you do a 1031 exchange, you don't pay taxes when you sell that first property. So when you sell to then buy another property with those proceeds, you don't have to pay taxes at all. So, you avoid taxes, you keep your equity growing, you scale into a different investment, and you preserve that wealth over time if that's something you want to do. You want to avoid the taxes altogether. This is, this person that asked me this question was all about how do I avoid paying taxes on this property. They have $1.2 million in equity and they're single. So it's a lot they're going to have to pay in capital gains tax. So it's a pretty powerful long-term wealth building tool if you use it correctly. Now, basically think of it like this. You can't do it when it's your primary residence, but if you make it look like it's an investment property long enough, you got a strategy there where, over time, you can do it. The important thing is, understand that the IRS cares a lot about how the property was actually used, not just what you called it. And that's basically how it works. So the bottom line is you can't do it, but there is that one workaround if you're willing to do it. Some folks can't even do it because they're like, no, I need to sell now and I want the money now. So it may not even be an option for them. All right. If you got any questions, send them on over. And I might feature it here on the Weekend Q&A episode. Thanks for listening. That is it for me today. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. And as always, if you have questions or need specific advice, ideas, or just some help regarding your particular real estate needs or situation, or if you're just looking to buy or sell real estate in Florida, well then DM me on Instagram at The Salib Group, or just send me an email to mark@thesalibgroup.com. Don't forget to leave a rating for the show, follow, subscribe, help others find the show, and be informed and educated about the real estate market just like you. Until next time. Before we end today's show, stop what you're doing and subscribe right now to Real Estate Market Minute Plus. Listen to all episodes ad-free. Get exclusive bonus episodes and content and help support the show's growth, longevity, and future improvements. Go to realestatemarketminute.supercast.com right now. You can also find the link in this episode's show description. Check it out. I know you'll love it.